Okay, so check this out Wednesday, right? She walks into school like the goth Terminator, and what does she find? Her little bro Pugsley shoved in a locker, tied up like a ham at Thanksgiving, and Wednesday, she gets a vision and sees the bullies who did it. So she rolls up on him like, you messed with the wrong chick. Then she straight up tries to unalive them with piranhas in the pool. Piranhas, bro. So yeah, she gets expelled. Now her parents, Morticia and Gomez, all spooky elegance and smoochy gothic energy, they're like, Maija, it's time. We're sending you to Nevermore Academy, which is like Hogwarts for weirdo outcasts, but less magic wands and more emotional trauma meets monster genes. Place is up in Jericho, Vermont. Soon as she gets there, a hiker gets turned into Monster Chow. Nobody knows what did it, but folks are like, might be a bear. But nah, this ain't no Paddington situation, trust me. Principal Weems is running the show. She tall, elegant. Got that? I'm not mad, I'm disappointed vibe. Now Nevermore, it's a boarding school for outcasts, weirdos, and supernatural kids. So Wednesday gets there, right? She gets room with Enid Sinclair, who's like glitter and rainbows and werewolf energy, total opposite vibes, who still ain't wolfed out yet. Like full puppy energy. Then Miss Thornhill shows up. She's the dorm mom / plant obsessed science teacher, rocking red boots like she's in a funky fairy tale. Before leaving, Morticia hands Wednesday a necklace, all dramatic like this is your lucky charm. Keep it close and dips. Now Enid gives Wednesday the grand tour like you got fangs, vampires, furs, werewolves, scales, sirens, and stoners. Nah, not like that. Their Gorgons wear beanies so they don't accidentally stone you at lunch. And then Sheriff Galpin, Jericho's local lawman with a side of suspicion, finds a dead hiker all mangled up in the woods. Dude's like, yup, it's the school's fault, case closed. He's been waiting to blame Nevermore since dial-up internet, bro. Back at school, Wednesday's beefing with Bianca Barkley, the siren queen with resting I run the school face. And then, boom! A gargoyle almost crushes her, straight up Final Destination style, but this dude Xavier Thorpe, quiet art boy, saves her like, I got you! Wednesday's in her room writing her dark novel, and suddenly crawl, thunk, thunk, a creepy little disembodied hand pops out. Yeah, it's Thing. Her parents secretly send him to spy on her like a fingered nanny cam. She's like, touch my stuff again and I'll turn you into a mitt. But then she makes a deal, help her out and he can stay. Now she's gotta go to court-mandated therapy with Dr. Kinbot, all like talk about your feelings, and Wednesday's like, I'd rather lick a doorknob. So she sneaks off to Jericho, meets Tyler, the brooding barista with sad eyes and dad issues. He's like, I'll help you escape, and she's like, deal, but just when they're about to pull the old Houdini, Principal Weems shows up like, surprise, you ain't go nowhere, busted. Tyler's dad, Sheriff Galpin, yeah, the one who's like, your dad's a murderer. Not exactly a meet the parents moment. Tyler's like, sorry about him, here's your dad's rap sheet, enjoy. Then out to nowhere, Wednesday bumps into Rowan, this twitchy kid with I know things energy. She gets a vision, he's about to die. She runs into Woods to alert him, but boom, dude flips. He's like, you're the end of everything, I got prophecy pages, and then roar! This giant monster just mauls him like a werewolf ninja and spares Wednesday, just dips. Poof. Now Wednesday's like, okay, clearly something demoni's going on here. And she tells the town sheriff Galpin, who's like, girl, it's probably a raccoon. And she's like, that thing literally ate a dude. But then guess what? Rowan shows up alive the next day like, hey guys, what's up? And everyone's like, guess you were wrong, spooky girl. Wednesday's like, nah, that don't add up. And she starts snooping around campus like it's Scooby-Doo. And she finds out Rowan supposedly got expelled. Super sus, so she follows him or tries to, but Thing loses him. And yo, Rowan was actually Weems in disguise, shape-shifting. Now Weems asked Wednesday to join a club. She goes to singing, archery, beekeeping. Wednesday sneaks to the crime scene to find a clue, find Rowan's glasses, and has another vision this time about a secret society book. She goes looking for it, but overhears Bianca talking smack about rigging the student tournament, and Wednesday's like, cool, guess I'm entering now? She teams up with Enid, but during the race, Wednesday got another vision. And this time, it's another chick looking like Wednesday in medieval white clothes. She's like, you are the key. Wednesday wakes up, back in race, they slay the competition taking care of Bianca's mermaid, and they win. Our girl finds a hidden library in the basement. But just when she's about to get her answers, boom, captured. Wednesday wakes up all tied up like it's some kind of spooky intervention, and boom, she's surrounded by these elite weirdo students. We're talking Bianca, Xavier, and some others in full cloak mode. But Wednesday, she ain't about to let a little rope and teenage cult energy slow her down. She breaks out like Houdini, snatches one of the old dusty books. She's like, it's amateurs like you who gives kidnapping a bad name and pieces out. Outreach day. Enid's flirting with Ajax over vintage typewriters, and Wednesday's working at Pilgrim World, which is like a cringy colonial theme park, bro. But then she finds this painting of a girl from her visions, and this book of shadows, except nah, it's fake. The real one, stolen. So Tyler, being helpful and all, gives her directions to a creepy house in the woods, right? She steps inside, and boom, another vision. She sees Joseph Crackstone, looking like evil George Washington, burning outcasts alive. And in the middle of it all, her ancestor Goody Adams, going full ghost mode escape artist while everyone else gets roasted. Brutal man. She wakes up dazed, and then bam, the monster shows up. Big teeth, muddy feet, and bad attitude. It runs off, but she checks the tracks, and she's like, yo, this thing might be human. Then Xavier pops up like, hey, just casually walking through Murder Woods. And Wednesday, she is not done. She and Thing, the sentient hand, pull a little sabotage and straight up burn the new statue of Crackstone. Like happy outreach day jerks. And Principal Weems, she's big mad. But wait, the monster's not done either. That night it attacks again. This time at the old Pilgrim house, and some random squatter becomes the next victim. But right before getting yeeted into the afterlife, the dude snaps a few monster pics. So now Sheriff Galpin's got receipts, and they ain't pretty. Meanwhile, all of Nevermore is buzzing about the Raven dance, but Wednesday, she's breaking into the coroner's office like a goth Nancy Drew, pulling files and digging up evidence. Back at the dorm, she and Enid put the clues together like hold up all the victims, body parts missing, like surgically. Phew. So Wednesday's getting those sketchy vibes from Xavier, right? Like full on, you got serial killer energy kind of vibes. So she straight up follows him into the woods. And where does he go? To a creepy shack, of course. Like, not suspicious at all, bro. She sneaks inside and finds his private art studio. And it's not just doodles of trees and sad poetry. Nah, it's monster fan art central. Pages everywhere, all this detailed horror drawing, and Wednesday's like, yo, how do you know what the monster looks like unless you are it? But she doesn't jump to conclusions. No, she recruits her boy Eugene, the king of bees and unbothered vibes. They do a little late night forest sneaking and find the monster's cave. Boom, claw on the floor, like someone rage quit mid-transformation. So they grab it like souvenir and bounce. Then Wednesday's like, Sheriff Galpin, listen, you don't like me, I don't like you, but can we at least run a DNA test on this thing? They compare the DNA to one of Xavier's bloody bloody cloth, but the results come back inconclusive, because you know, plot. And Tyler, the brooding latte boy, takes her to the Raven dance. So she's like, fine, I'll go to the dance, but I'm not dancing. Meanwhile, Eugene goes into the woods alone, because he's trying to be brave, but bruh, never split up, never. At the dance? Oh man, drama deluxe. Bianca's mad, Xavier's confused, Tyler's blushing, and Wednesday's just looking like she'd rather be at a funeral. She's doing her classic dance with all those moves and stuff. Then the local bullies roll up like, oh, remember that statue prank? We remember. And they set off the fire sprinklers, but with red paint, bro. Everybody slipping, screaming, drenched in cherry slush. And just when it's all chaos, Wednesday gets a vision like, yo, Eugene's in trouble. So she ditches the dance, sprints into the woods in her soaked black dress, and boom, Eugene's been monster mauled, bro. Just left there, broken. Now fast forward to Parents Weekend, and the whole Addams fam rolls up. Morticia Gomez and Pugsley, aka Meanie Chaos. And Wednesday's like, perfect time to interrogate dad about that murder thing you allegedly did? No biggie. Drops a whole criminal file mid-family therapy like, surprise, explain this, papa. Morticia's like, not here, girl. So later Wednesday goes to visit Eugene at the hospital, trying to say sorry, but my dude's still knocked out. Back at school, Sheriff Galpin crashes lunch like, sorry to interrupt your meatloaf, but Gomez Addams, you're under arrest. And Gomez is like, I did it? But looks too guilty to be guilty, you know? Then, plot twist. Morticia's like, okay, I'll tell you the truth. She says Garrett Gates was stalking her hard like old school creeper, and that she actually killed him in self-defense. But Gomez took the blame cause love, I guess? Still, Wednesday's not satisfied, so she goes full grave robber, digs up Garrett's body, like 2 a.m. CSI, and boom, finds out this dude was already poisoned. So now we know both her parents didn't kill him. So she and Morticia go confront Mayor Noble Walker, who used to be sheriff, and he folds like a cheap deck chair. Admits the truth, Garrett's dad was a mega rich bigot who wanted to poison all the outcasts at the Raven dance, but the vial broke in his own pocket. Instant karma, baby. Mayor Walker covered it up in exchange for career upgrades. Classic shady deal. Wednesday's like, okay, we won't expose your corrupt past, but you better let Gomez go. No questions asked. He's like, deal. So Parents Weekend wraps up, hugs all around. The Addams leave Nevermore with slightly less trauma than they brought. Wednesday's just chilling, flipping through an old Nevermore yearbook, right? Like casual nostalgia vibes, but spooky. And then boom, she spots Principal Weems looking all normal, then shapeshifting like it's X-Men's Mystique. She's like, yo, hold up, chick's a shapeshifter? And bro, she starts connecting the dots like one of those crime boards with red string. She storms into the principal's office like, you pretended to be Rowan after he died, huh? Like full-on cosplay deception? And Weems like, yeah, I did that, but I did it for the school. Like what? Then, flames, not metaphorical, actual fire. Words on the front lawn lit up like it's sponsored by Hot Cheetos. The message? Fire will rain? And Weems like, oh great, so it's Wednesday's birthday, right? Her squad throws a surprise party at the old Crackstone Crypt, and she's standing there like, yay, more shadows. But things get real when she finds this tomb with the same symbol from the flaming grass earlier. She touches it, and boom, vision time. And who's there? Goody Addams telling Wednesday to hit up the abandoned Gates mansion because that's where the big secrets live, bro. So Wednesday tries to low-key tell Mayor Walker for clues like sneaky detective style. But oh no, a car hits him out of nowhere. Dude goes airborne, and next thing you know, he's in the ICU. Weems freaks out and puts the whole school on lockdown. Wednesday tricks Tyler and Enid into a little Scooby-Doo field trip to the Gates mansion. They break in, and what do they find? The car that hit the mayor, a creepy jewelry box with Laurel Gates initials on it, and wait for it, body parts in jars, bro. Like a straight-up monster Costco. But of course, just as they're connecting the dots, the actual monster shows up like sup. Scratches Tyler, everybody freaks, and they dip. Sheriff Galpin shows up later like, so where's the evidence? And everything's magically gone. Like the monster had time to clean up with a Swiffer mop, and now he thinks Wednesday's just running on full Delulu mode. Back at Nevermore, Weems is like, all right, fine, last chance, one more field trip and you're out. But Enid, she's done. She's like, girl, you're manipulative, and she dips from the dorm. Sad. Wednesday's going through Laura's old jewelry box and finds secret photos of herself. Like, yo, someone's been stalking me harder than Netflix algorithms, just when things couldn't get worse. Mayor Walker gets murdered in his hospital bed, like assassinated mid-recovery. But guess who pulls up next? Uncle Fester. Dude's sneaky, sparkly-fingered, and full of chaotic wisdom. He's like, yo, I've been on the run, but you're looking for a hide, right? Classic creature. Seen one once? Messed up a marching band? Real bad. And he tells Wednesday to check out this old Nightshade diary written by some OG founder dude, Nathaniel Faulkner. She finds the book. Turns out hides are like werewolf meets Frankenstein creatures that don't just go full murder mode on their own. They need a master, like a sick, twisted Pokemon trainer. And someone's clearly been shouting, hide, I choose violence, trying to distract her from the endless death vibes. Tyler's like, wanna go on a date in a creepy crypt? And she's like, that's the most romantic thing anyone's ever said to me. So they picnic in a Crackstone Crypt, about to smooch, when Sheriff Galpin shows up like, what are you kids doing in this haunted cemetery? She gets back to her dorm, wrecked, books everywhere, furniture flipped, thing just stabbed and twitching, bro, like disrespectful. Wednesday's like, not the homie, but Fester resuscitates Thing with a lightning finger and a whisper of love. And that's it. That's the breaking point. Someone's trying to destroy her, her friends, and now her dismembered sidekick. And Wednesday, oh man, she's about to bring the fire before it rains. Principal Weems, right? She finally fesses up like, yeah, I did know about the whole hide situation, but I kept it on the down low to protect the school's Yelp reviews. Kids out here losing limbs and you trying to protect the brochure? Anyway, new clue drops. Mayor Walker, before he got flattened like a pancake, was doing a little Sherlock Holmes action on Laurel Gates, that one dead girl who's maybe not so dead. So Wednesday's like, I knew it. So now she's got eyes on Dr. Kinbot, the super chill therapist who always be like, how does that make you feel? And Wednesday's like, nah sis, you got red flags in a closet full of secrets. She storms into the office like, you Laurel Gates, huh? And Dr. Kinbot's like, what? No, that's crazy talk. Bam! Monster attacks right after Wednesday leaves. Like, bro, that's a wrap. Dr. K got hide real quick. Wednesday's all like, it's gotta be Xavier. So she marches to his studio, lays down the accusations, and Sheriff Galpin rolls up and yoinks Xavier straight to jail. Wednesday's feeling like she cracked the whole case, you know? Enid moves back in like, okay girl, I forgive you, and everything's all cozy. So she swings by the weather vane to see Tyler, and they kiss. First smooch, sparks fly, but not the romantic kind, more like psychic boom boom vision kind. And in that vision, Tyler's the hide. Yeah bro, that cute barista out here dismembering people. Wednesday runs off like she just saw her credit card bill. She gathers some Nightshade homies and they straight up kidnap Tyler? Interrogation room, bare light bulb, the works. Tyler's like, yo, I don't know what you're talking about. She tries to torture him, but everyone like, nah girl, that's it. And inform Weems. So Wednesday gets dragged to the station again. But while nobody's looking, Tyler leans in all creepy like and whispers, you were right. And guess what? It's about to get worse. Now Weems is like, you know what? You're expelled. Pack your bags and your murder mystery wall. Wednesday's like, okay, fine, but one more stop. She goes to see her boy Eugene, who just woke up from his coma like, yo, I saw something. I saw red boots. And Wednesday's like, say less. Bam, it's Miss Thornhill, aka Laurel Gates. She's been running this whole operation like a toxic camp counselor. And just when Weems shows up for the big reveal moment, oh no, Thornhill poisons Weems, cold bro. Then she drags Wednesday to the Crackstone Crypt like it's the final boss fight. And while all this is happening, Thing goes full rescue mission and alerts the Nightshades like, yo, code black. Wednesday's in trouble. Now Wednesday's tied up in the crypt and Laurel Gates is monologuing like a Bond villain. She's all like, yo, I'm bringing back Joseph Crackstone using the Book of Shadows and a little drop of your blood. Thanks for the donation. Wednesday's blood hits the coffin and boom, out pops Crackstone looking like a pilgrim. Dude is not chill. First thing he does, shanks Wednesday with some ancient blade like payback and she just drops on the floor. But wait, Goody Adams ain't done yet. Her ghost rolls up like not on my timeline and uses Morticia's lucky necklace to drop a full revival spell. Like boom, Wednesday's back. Now she's running through the woods, all woozy and whatnot, when bam, Tyler shows up, a surprise. Ian pulls up, that's right. Our pastel werewolf bestie finally howls up and goes full beast mode. She and Tyler go at it like it's a monster UFC main event while Wednesday dips to go handle the boss. Meanwhile, Crackstone shows up and Nevermore like time to fulfill that dusty old prophecy and sets the whole place on fire. It's chaos. Students are screaming, architecture's melting. So Wednesday, she grabs a sword like a full-on Excalibur situation and steps to Crackstone in the courtyard. It's sword versus pilgrim death magic and he's tossing her like a rag doll. Just when it's looking bad, Yonka shows up and shanks the dude in the ribs with perfect timing. Wednesday's like King's bestie and hits that final blow right in the chest. Boom, Crackstone's soul goes bye-bye. Dude explodes like a haunted piñata. But wait, Miss Thornhill pops out again, still wildin'. She pulls a gun like, let me ruin everything. But Eugene and his bees swoop in from the treetops like, not today, and sting her into submission. So yeah, Nevermore's like, okay, that's enough trauma for one semester, and they cancel school. Everyone's saying goodbyes, getting in Ubers. Xavier forgives Wednesday, but just when you think it's over. Nah, fam. Wednesday's all like, yo, someone's texting me creepy pics. I think I got a stalker now. And she looks dead into the void like, this ain't over. Suspense, absolutely killing. Wow, so that's it, but don't ghost me, okay? So now's the time, like the video, subscribe to the channel. And you have subscribed, right? Right?